Hi, it's Dan. I'm back. In this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about WearBands and eccentric loading. You may have read a lot. There's a lot of research out there about the importance of eccentric loading, and also the fact that when we go into the gym and we work out, we tend to do a lot of concentric work, but we don't necessarily do a lot of eccentric work. So there's been a lot of emphasis recently on that in strength and conditioning journals and articles and things of that. So just real quickly, with WearBands, it's a great eccentric activator. Because it's downward force on your body, not only downward force, but in lots of different vectors, lots of different angles. WearBands is applying resistance where, free weights tend to apply the resistance straight down. It's all downward force. With WearBands, it's really multi-vector. So obviously you've seen a lot of people put bands around their legs, right? Very important, right? Well, this is really activating, abductors, the outer glutes, muscles down along the sides of your thighs, the abductors. That's what this is doing. But it's kind of interesting when you're doing this work, you're not getting much eccentric work. WearBands, when you do this work and you're pushing off, you're getting great eccentric loading in the adductor. Something that's kind of hard to do and hard to get. And you see a lot of things cobbled together to help people try to eccentrically load. With WearBands, it's automatic. When you're pushing off, if you're moving laterally, if you're a lateral athlete or you're just moving laterally for workouts, this is eccentric loading of the adductor, something that's really hard to get. And if you're using WearBands during your workouts, it's just going to happen automatically. Obviously, the other way is in the hamstring. We don't always eccentrically load the hamstring as much as we'd like. A lot of this work is glute driven without any additional resistance. What WearBands does is eccentrically loads the hamstring. So as you're moving, as you're running, you're eccentrically loading the hamstring. Even during a squat on the way up, obviously, it's a lot of posterior chain, a lot of glute work on the way up, but your hamstring is being called upon because of the eccentric loading that WearBands applies. So that's just something to think about. Obviously, if you want to target the muscle, you can get down here and you can do this. And obviously, this move here is really targeting the hamstring in an eccentric way. So you can certainly target the muscle specifically, but WearBands does such a nice job of is while you're moving, especially laterally, you're getting a lot of eccentric loads. So that's something to consider with WearBands. It really adds that eccentric loading to exercises that otherwise may not. So if that answers a few of your questions or lets you know a little bit more about eccentric loading with WearBands. See you in the next segment.